Good afternoon and welcome back to the SISU studio here at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016, live from Calgary, Canada. My name's Panda. Can you even hear yourself?
Hi, I'm Bob.
It's so loud in here. We are situated right behind track one, and Team USA and Team Japan are playing currently, and it's pretty crazy in there.
As you can tell, the studio is not in New York. But we've got one more game left, and let's talk about this one quickly.
Okay, so track two is going to be Argentina versus Sweden, and this is the last of our pool play games, so the last of the 30-minute period games within each of the groups. So following this, we're going to have the junior showcase, and then we've got the fourth place full regulation MRDA bouts at 7 and 7:15 Mountain Time. So wherever you are in the world, just check what the time difference is if you're tuning in.
Yeah, so basically this is what seals the orange pool. We have Argentina. Well, we know England is going for sure.
Yeah.
England has run the table. They are perfect 4-0. Right now, Argentina and Sweden are both 2-1. And respectively, their games and their scores have been relatively similar. Mm-hmm. So well, it comes down to this: one wins and goes, one doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other one goes to the consolation brackets and plays for positioning. So score doesn't even make a difference. It's really just all about whoever's going to win this game. So you can't ask for anything more than that. Two evenly matched teams who both came an awfully far way to make it into the knockout phase. It's going to be a fight.
Absolutely. So a quick update on the Japan and Scotland. I think I said Team USA before. I apologize. So Team Japan on 13, Scotland on 61. We're going to throw over to track 2 now for Team Argentina versus Team Sweden. So I'm going to hand over to our announcers over there.
Good afternoon. James Brown and Holly Sheet coming to you live from beautiful Calgary with the last of the 30-minute games, which will see Argentina taking on Sweden.
I'm Holly Sheet and I'm here with James Brown. We've just been given some information that there may be a slight delay as they're just cleaning up some debris off of the track. So do bear with us if you're here to watch Argentina versus Sweden, but it does give us plenty of time to run through these rosters in advance for you. We have got Argentina playing in white. They are playing today in this game 08 Pibe, 087 Oscares, number 10 Castillo, number 12 Cruz, number 2 Bentos, number 21 Heavy Dolce, number 22 Esquivel, number 28 Sanchez, number 3 Victor Diaz, number 4 Bergalo, number 666 Florente, number 7 Black Shadow, and number 99 Donne.
And then we have Sweden in the blue with the yellow trim, and their team will consist of number 011 Peking Punisher, number 1 Yua Yuet, number 10 Darling, number 11 Nilf, number 13 Mick Yeager, number 1337 Grand Marshal, number 4 Yada Yada, number 42 Papa, number 563 Sjurberg Olsen, number 61 Crutzen, number 7 Fridson, number 8 Nielsen, number 85 Martinson, and number 9 No Modesty Blaze.
Okay, the debris has now been cleared off of the SISU track here on track number 2. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you are watching, wherever you're watching around the world, please do send through some tweets to us, hashtag MRDWC. We have a tweet cast in front of us and we'll get those read out to you.
So we're just waiting to get the show on the road. As I said earlier, it's the last of the 30-minute games. Sweden taking on Argentina. I believe that Argentina tomorrow will be taking on the USA on track 1 at 11 o'clock. So
Okay, the track has just been cleared, but we are still waiting for the officials just to set themselves in place. And whilst we do so, if you are keeping an eye on our Facebook page, check it out tomorrow for the Quad Skate Shop Team of the Tournament. They're letting the fans choose one of the MVPs. This year's Quad Skate Shop Team of the Tournament will include the Fan Favourite Award that's chosen by you. Check out the Facebook page on Saturday for details of how to put forward your nomination for that event. And we are ready to get underway, James. So let's have a look at what's going on track.
Number 9, No Modesty Blaze, jamming for Sweden against number 10, Castillo for Argentina. Both jammers duking left and right, looking for some kind of opening. The bigger of the two jammers, No Modesty Blaze, really powerfully looking for some space, but just taken down on the outside line, made to recycle.
Yep, some brilliant work here by Argentina. Again, huge hits. No Modesty Blaze is not a small person, and he is being thrown across the track by the blockers. And Castillo breaking for lead jammer on the far side of the track. He's now working his way round on a scoring pass up against a solid wall of blue for Sweden. And he manages to find the outside line. A bit of recycling thrown in there by Papa, but he can't hold Castillo back. And Castillo picks up the first points on the board, are going to Argentina, full 5 Grand Slam.
Yeah, great job by Castillo to disengage and get some separation and then re-attack the gap that presents itself. So now back again for more is Castillo. Some offensive interference being run there. Still being held back by this Swedish cube. On the outside line is Castillo now being made to recycle again. No Modesty Blaze still looking for some joy on the inside line. Still on his initial pass. Now a big check from No Modesty Blaze as he powers his way through to complete that initial pass.
He did look like he was still just looking at the star in his hands rather than the blocker coming towards him, but shrugging that gentleman off. He does break free, but Castillo calling that jam to an end, and it is a very good start here for Team Argentina. They have now got 10 points on the board in this first jam. Very solid work by the team playing in white.
Yeah, what we've seen from a lot of the teams is that they don't look to be prepared to gamble. If the opposition jammer gets out, they will.
We've had a lovely shout out from the Crash Test Brummies. Thank you guys so much. I'm sure there are many fantastic announcing teams, especially those that are taking part here in the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016.
But bless your hearts, all the same.
Back on track now, we have Black Shadow for Team Argentina. He's been knocked out by Nilsson and recycled back, which is going to give a little bit of space for Yada Yada, but Yada Yada picking up a high block penalty. So we now have a Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam for Black Shadow.
Black Shadow pumping those legs at the front of the shop. It's going to make this Roller Derby Athletic Power Jam pay dividends for Team Argentina. Back on the approach. Space opened up on the inside line. A lovely twist and spin from Black Shadow, looking for a gap on the inside line. A little change of pace. 5 points picked up by Black Shadow and Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina are taken down to just 2 blockers. And Yada Yada is currently standing in that penalty box, so they're going to want to shut down and get some points very quickly to try and avoid Team Sweden from getting round and potentially picking up points themselves.
So Yada Yada back on track and take it off to the inside line. Just a shoulder check from Optimus Quad. It looks like we have a cut track penalty for Yada Yada. So he makes his way back to the penalty box. The Roller Derby Athletic Power Jam will continue.
Argentina throwing in some really big hits. They're a mixed-sized team for certain, but some really good defensive play and good blocking skills. Black Shadow just calling that jam to an end. He was knocked down to the ground, but he picked up 5 more points. Argentina now on 20, still holding Sweden to a 0, and we're going to give a shout out to the S1 Lifer helmet, which is the best fitting and safest helmet for roller derby. Get a lifer, be a lifer, s1helmets.com. Making sure, of course, that you're keeping yourself safe. As you can see, the big hits coming in left, right, and center in here, the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016. Jamming now, we have Bentos for Team Argentina, and of course Yada Yada starting in the penalty box means this will be a Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam in favor of Argentina.
And a lead jammer picked up for Argentina and Bentos. And we have a shout out from Guilty McKitty, welcoming Optimus Squad number 22 for Argentina, who's skating under the name Esquivel, who will soon join the Puget Sound Outcast in Seattle, Washington. That's with Quadzilla in the game. So, lovely jersey. Lovely jersey for us.
We have Yada Yada picking up another cutting penalty. I believe that's 3 in a row for the Swedish jammer. It's certainly 3 power jams that he's given away. So Roller Derby Athletics power jams. Argentina's certainly benefiting from it. They're currently 5 points in on this jam. And coming round again for another set of points is Bentos taken out. A lovely hit by Grand Marshal. And Bentos recycled back, but Argentina now back with him. And they're going to try and break up that Swedish wall. They're doing a really good job taking out number 13, which is Mick Jaeger.
Yeah, Heavy Dolce doing a good job with some offensive blocking there. Meanwhile, Bentos at the front of the shop looking for some space, and he finds exactly that. Another 5-point pickup for Bentos and Argentina. Yada Yada back on track now, completing his initial pass. And Bentos bearing down on the opposition, relative ease, light work of that Swedish wall straight through. Another 3 points for Argentina, 0 on the board for Sweden.
Yeah, beautiful work there by Bentos picking his feet up. There was only a skate's width there, so he just used one skate to get through.
Why wouldn't you? Eh?
We have a Buenos Aires are watching the Team Argentina, saying thank you for the live streaming. So a big shout out to Lorita at Marqués de El Riesgo Charabons.
So we have El Pibe jamming for Argentina against Fritzen of Sweden. And both jammers twisting and turning, looking for that space, and they both get taken off and are made to recycle now. We have a foot race all the way back. And Pibe quickly on, and a lovely change of level. And it looks like a track cut penalty has been called on Pibe, so he goes to the penalty box. So now Sweden will have their own roller derby athletics power jam.
We have just been plunged into darkness here, ladies and gentlemen. It is not the feed, it is the lights in the venue have completely disappeared. There is a chant going on in the crowd, but of course we've had to stop the game now for safety reasons. So do please bear with us as we try and get to the bottom of why the lights have in the venue all cut out. I'm looking through our staffing room, and it does look like the lights on the far side of the venue may have gone out as well. So it is if you can hear on the feed, we've got teams singing along to each other here. They have their phones out with the torches on.
It's like a candlelight vigil. Of course, this is the perfect opportunity for you guys to tweet into us, hashtag MRDWC, and then we can have a chat back with you. Why not send us a photograph of what you're having for dinner, or lunch or breakfast, whatever time it is where you are.
We're going to give a shout out as well to the Alberta Sports Connection. The Men's Roller Derby World Cup would like to acknowledge the contributions of Alberta Sports Connection, which has helped to make this event possible. And of course, as soon as we get the lights back on, we'll get that event back underway for you. It is just, this is really creepy because you can see me from the light of the laptop, as it is just the lights that have gone out and not the power itself. We have fans running around with torches on, trying to keep the crowd entertained. And we will, of course, try and keep you guys entertained and updated with every step of what's going on. So if you are now still tuning in to watch Argentina versus Sweden, we will keep you updated as much as we can. Yep, there has been a power cut talk derby to me. You are completely right. We will do the best we can to get this going underway as soon as we can get lights back. And of course, we will need to be talking to the guys here at Acadia Recreational Centre in Calgary, Alberta, where the 2016 Men's Roller Derby World Cup is taking place. If you've not managed to make it out here, it's been too far for you, why not put in a bid to host the 2018 Men's Roller Derby World Cup? The details are available on the website. That's mrdwc.com.
I would put a bid in to host it myself, but I don't think my 2-bedroom flat is big enough. So.
Well, it's 2-bedroom. You can get 2 tracks.
The SISU back bedroom. Eh?
and the quad skate shop kitchenette area.
Yeah. And the roller derby athletics bathroom.
We've got you covered. 2018, James Brown's house. There's still a lot of enthusiasm here between the teams. I think people's eyes are starting to grow accustomed to the lighting here. Okay, we have just been given an update that there will be 10 minutes before we can get the lights back on. We will keep going. Obviously, this is a hard clock, but it has actually been stopped. This is one of the very few occasions they have stopped the clock here at the MRDWC for these 30-minute games. So I do actually have my light-up shoes on me, so I can actually get some light going on down here.
Can you see that? There we go. You can see my best vest again now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, 10 minutes to go. The teams are still hanging around in their bench areas. They can't make their way to the track to keep themselves warm because it is still very much a safety issue here. Even though we do have the doors open and we do have some natural light coming through, it isn't bright enough, as you can see on the feed. It's not bright enough at all for any training, any skating around to take place. So I believe once we get the lights back, there may even be a brief intermission for some warm-ups.
Warm-up, yeah.
Again, for the teams to make sure that they are safe when they're returning back to the track. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are just going to give you a couple more shout-outs. Obviously, there's a lot of time and effort and many people who help to this World Cup to take place. Let's give a shout-out to rollerskating.ca. Rollerskating.ca is Canada's roller skate store. It's a trusted provider to derby teams all across Canada for over 11 years with the best customer service. They sell and service all the top roller derby brands, safety gear, and tons of recreational skates too. They've got over 30 years of expert at quad skating know-how at your service. Call 1-855-ROLL-SKATE or visit Roller Skating, and that's without the G, rollerskating.ca.
Spelled the cool way.
Roller Skating.
Yeah. Well, if we're giving shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to S1. The S1 Lifer helmet is the best fitting and safest helmet for roller derby. Get a lifer, be a lifer. S1helmets.com. I love that slogan. Okay? Warms my heart.
So we are actually going to cut over to the studio very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Do please, though, keep your eyes peeled on the track if you do want to carry on with the Sweden-Argentina game. There will be a brief interlude towards the studio so that you're not just looking at this darkened track. Shout out at the moment to Nicholas Persson. Too bad the power outage interrupted Team Sweden's power jam. They wanted a lead change. I'm sure you absolutely did, Nicholas. Hopefully when we get the action back underway, you'll see Sweden pulling off some beautiful moves again. Carlita de Moderila says, Vamos, Charobons, a ganar. So hello to all of you watching for this Team Italy and Team Sweden game. We have had a power outage. There's not a feed down. We've had a lights outage here in the venue. We will be cutting to the studio very shortly, but keep your eyes here on the SISU track number 2. So as soon as we do have the action back underway, we will let you know and we will keep you updated with what's going on. Still do send through your hashtags. It is just a light outing and not a complete power outage. So if you are on Twitter, hashtag MRDWC, we'll keep you updated with those, obviously, when we're not over in the studio.
Especially if your lights are working at home.
Please show us your
Send
lights.
us photographs of you guys
Brighten up
being
our day.
illuminated, yeah. We can have like light by osmosis.
Oh.
Well, they're trying. The lights here are trying to turn on. Bless them. Maybe if we all clap. Yeah, and it'll bring them back to life
That like Pete and
Tinkerbell.
Peter Pan, yeah. Oh, thank you. The best thing about the power cut are my light up shoes. Thank you very much, Lorita. I certainly enjoy these shoes. They're still flashing away underneath the table, which is just lighting up this little corner that we're in. And very gradually, one at a time, each of the lights back here in the venue are being reset and coming upwards. It is still quite gloomy in here, so we are not going to start straight away. We have probably about 2/3 of the lights back on now here in the room.
At the moment, I'd describe the lighting as like 4 a.m. nightclub when the last song's played. It's time to get out.
Hello there to Ari Diozon. Yeah, we like to keep you entertained. I'm glad my shoes could be of service. I'm really glad I wore those today.
Yeah. You're like a fashion mogul. You're like the Kid Cudi of roller derby.
I really wouldn't go that far.
Well, look, you're at all the rage. Hashtag Holly Sheet shoes.
To Piggy Fatness, Sergio Barrera. We didn't break it. We just twisted it a little.
Yeah.
So you can see the lights are coming back on, but as we said, there is going to be a delay in getting back in. We have to make sure that there's adequate lighting, which will be approved by the tournament head referee, which is Mistrial.
Yep.
And of course, the teams are going to take a little bit of time to warm up. We're going to cut you back to the studio. So give us a few moments here, and we'll keep you on track 2, SISU track, when you come back from the studio.
So far,
the team's doing really well. Yeah. Everything's going to plan. We've won all our games so far. Pretty good margins. All done good.
So you're on the top in your group at this point. We don't expect to see any changes moving forward. What do you think is going to happen over the next couple of days?
Well, we've got a tough game coming up against Finland, I think. And then it's going to be potentially Canada after that. Right. So that's going to be where the tournament really is going to kick off, I think.
How's practice and everything been up until this point for you?
Yeah, it's really good. We've been training once a month, getting together as much as we can. Obviously, bringing all our training that we're doing in Team England back to our clubs, trying to keep things tight.
I think in comparison to some of the other teams here today, you have a relatively small journey throughout the UK to train.
Yes.
In comparison to other leagues that have got skaters coming from different countries and through like the whole of North America and South America.
Yeah.
In terms of time that you put into this, can you quantify it?
I don't know about that.
When did you start training?
Well, I've been in the squad for 4 years now. This is the first opportunity I've had to play for England in open games. I played a few closed games. So for myself, it's been 4 years of at least 2 days a month training hard. That's obviously just with the Team England guys. Got everything outside of that as well.
Yeah, and you're also a member of Tyne and Fear up in Newcastle, which we already know each other. We have done for a long time. Have you had schedule collisions?
Luckily, we haven't actually. We've been really good trying to organise everything around games, with the British champs being involved in all of the teams that are in Team England. They've had to really keep themselves organised to avoid any clashes. Which is good.
Excellent. Any games in particular that you want to stay and watch, provided we get the power back on?
Anything the Team Japan in is great to watch.
They really get the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, they come out of the pack, they get lead jammer, the roof is totally blown off.
Their ethos is amazing. They just play derby. There's nothing else to them. It's great.
Maybe that's why the power went off. Thanks so much for joining us. I think we're just going to go to some ads and then try and figure out what's going to happen moving forward. But it looks like some of the lights are coming back on. To a little cheer from the crowd. If we've got any more gameplay coming, we'll let you know as soon as we have some more information. Thank you so much for sticking with us, and we'll see you again soon.
Nerd Roller Skates is your dedicated quad roller skate shop in Calgary, Alberta.
Being a nerd is about being really excited and really passionate about a really specific thing. And the thing that we are really excited and passionate about is roller skates.
Nerd Roller Skates.
Official skate shop, Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016.
For people who roll.
I am your fortress on the front line of sport. Engineered to be stronger than the attack. I defy convention by protecting more with less. Helping you breathe easier, hydrate faster, speak more clearly. I am SISU, and I fend for you.
Okay, apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. We have cut back in. You've just missed one jam. I am so sorry. We missed one jam of Argentina versus Sweden. We have jumped straight back in. The skaters were very keen to get back underway and get playing. Yeah. So they just jumped straight back in. We're looking at the jam we've got now, and we have Kikila for Argentina is up against Sjöberg Olsen, who is pushing on that white wall at the front.
And both jammers trying to go through that middle line. And it is Kikila who takes lead jammer for Argentina. Kikila out again, but he picks up a low block penalty, so he's going to make his way to the penalty box. Sjöberg Olsen now with a roller derby athletics power jam.
He's been testing the outer edges of the track, but has been held solid by Argentina. And a good hit out there, frees Sjöberg Olsen. Oh, big hit there by Florente.
And now everybody from Argentina running Sjöberg Olsen right back to the back of the pack.
Not the entirety of Argentina, the country, but the team. Yes.
Well, it's the whole country. The whole country out there.
And Sjöberg Olsen having a really tough time. He's managing to break it down to just 2 blockers on the track, but that has been a very good kill by Team Argentina on the power jam in favor of Sweden. Oh, and they've just given Sweden another roller derby athletics power jam with a cutting track being issued on Kikila.
Yeah, another bite at the cherry for Sjöberg Olsen now. And again, Team Argentina laying in wait. Sweden looking to run some offensive interference and carve open a channel for Sjöberg Olsen on the outside line, but he's not able to stay in bounds, and he will take himself back.
He's now moved away. That outer edge on turn number 1 was providing a really good basis for Argentina to take him off the outside line. He has, however, just swapped it for the outside line of turn number 3. Argentina, brilliant job there. That is 2 power jams, roller derby athletic power jams in favor of Sweden. Yeah. And they held them to nothing, James.
Argentina know exactly how well they did. Esquivel and Sanchez hugging and punching the air there. Great penalty kill by those guys.
Oh, Captain Morza is saying that, Capitan Morza is saying we got the lights out as in retribution for sending El Pibe to the penalty box.
So now, no modesty Blaze with a roller derby athletics power jam, but a short-lived one. Forearms penalty, sending somebody to the penalty box, but no modesty Blaze with lead jammer for Sweden. And now back on the approach, and he shakes and jukes and drives, shakes Cruz out of his shoes and through is No Modesty Blaze now at the front of the chop, driving at the pack, just taken off track. Cruz back into the action, looking to get some retribution there. That juke move.
It was a beautiful shimmy,
Yeah.
and I think that will actually have collected a point or two for Sweden. Yes, in fact, No Modesty Blaze now darting around the outside, and that is a set of 4 points, the first points on the board for Sweden, with over 10 minutes gone on that clock. So beautiful defensive work by Argentina, but Sweden now scoring. Let's see if this momentum can carry them forwards. No Modesty Blaze using that momentum indeed, pushing into that Argentinian wall. And that's some brilliant blocking there by Oscares for Argentina. He's now back up at the front.
Oh, a track cut penalty drawn on No Modesty Blaze by Diaz. No Modesty Blaze making his way to the penalty box. A roller derby athletics power jam for Cruz of Argentina. Now let's see if Sweden can do as well at killing the penalty as Argentina did earlier.
Yep, Cruz really working hard alongside his blockers. And that is beautiful breakout by Oscares. And that puts another set of 5 points on the board for Argentina. But we are hearing a ream of whistles, and that's sending Argentina's Oscares off. So Argentina down to just 3. Beautiful straightaway jump there by Cruz.
He's got all the moves, hasn't he, Cruz? Look at him.
Cruz with the moves.
Yeah.
A few more points there. Argentina picking up 8 in that jam, but Sweden collecting their first 4 points. Really good work there by No Modesty Blaze to pick that up. And we're just going to have a quick shout out to Merry Chaos. Be harder, better, faster, stronger with one-on-one coaching from Derby Life and Chaos Theory. New Derby Life Transformation Challenge starting on August the 8th. Visit Chaos Theory, that's Chaos with a K, chaostheoryblog.com for more details.
So we've got Yada Yada and Castillo jamming for Sweden and Argentina respectively. Yada Yada hopping left and right, trying to make some space for himself, but Argentina hip to the script.
Yada Yada, another track cut penalty, so that is 4 so far in this game. Remember, they can only have 5 penalties before they are fouled out in these half-hour hard clock games.
So Castillo with a roller derby athletic power jam and lead jammer to boot as he drives against this Swedish wall, and they're all in there trying to stop him. Ultra squad in, running some offense, and a big gap presents itself, and a change of pace from Castillo away from the pack now. 5 points for Argentina.
Yep, some really good work. Castillo just darting up, and that, as you said, change of pace. The change between the speed and the slow is just throwing Sweden's blockers off sync. And they are now grouped up and working much better as a team and taking on this really, really talented jammer on his own. Oh, hit so hard that his helmet cover came off.
He gave that everything, didn't he?
He did indeed. Helmet cover's now been replaced back on. Yada Yada breaking through the pack. He had removed his helmet cover. It's now back on his head, so you should be able to see the tall Swedish jammer just as he makes his way around towards the back of the pack.
It looks like we have a blocking out of play penalty for Castillo. So he's making his way to the penalty box, meaning that Yada Yada was not. Lead jammer does have a roller derby athletics power jam.
And he is on a scoring pass as well. So we are potentially looking at Sweden gaining a few more points here if Yada Yada can pass by these blockers. Sweden doing their best to do some goating, and yes, we've got 5 more points on the board for Sweden, bringing them up to 9. Some steady progress, but Sweden picking it up. They seem to have settled into how Argentina are playing, and when they're playing as a solid 4, they really are holding the Argentinian jammers back. Argentina, though, when they have a bit of space.
Well, this is exactly it. I mean, what we're noticing at this level is that as soon as a gap opens, these guys are going to attack it. They're going to change pace with remarkable ability, and they're going to take that gap, much like Frickson did just then to get lead jammer starting on a roller derby athletics power jam for Sweden. That's short-lived. Castillo back on the track now, looking to exact some change and get himself out of the pack, and he does that very quickly and just manages to escape the last-ditch efforts of what looked like Crutzen for Sweden. So he's out. He completes the initial pass. virtually forcing Fritzen to make the call.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have joined us because of the Power of Scotland and Japan team game being called off, it has actually been put back on.
Oh, there we go.
So please, if you are wanting to watch Power of Scotland versus Japan, that is back over on track number 1. However, I would highly recommend that you stay here on SISU track number 2.
Sure you want to stay with us. Holly will get her shoes out again later. Stick around.
We have number 2, Bentos, for Argentina. And he is struggling against that back wall. Sjoberg Olsen just tucking his way around the inside, almost playing the 5th blocker, whilst Sweden settled into that hold on Bentos.
So yeah, what Sweden seems to be doing is, because these guys are so quick, these Argentinian jammers, it looks like we have a track cut penalty for Bentos. Sjoberg Olsen with lead jammer and a roller derby athletics power jam.
Yep, just as you were saying, James, it was quick footwork, but Argentina too quick to jump back on the track.
Yeah.
Bentos picking up that penalty for his quick footwork, which is a little bit of a shame, but brilliant work by Sweden. And Sjoberg Olsen, he has passed a downed skaters, number 12, Cruz. So again, this will see Sweden putting some points on the board. They are currently 13 to 54. However, they've still got plenty of time, 12 minutes left to try and dent down that advantage that Argentina have.
The 2 points picked up by Sweden at the death there.
It's taking them up to 15 points, however, in this game against Argentina's 54.
So we're going to have Bentos starting in the penalty box for Argentina, meaning that No Modesty Blaze, who's on the jam line for Sweden, will have a roller derby athletics power start.
A quick shout out to Rollline, the Italian tailored skating experience fit on your needs since 1999.
Blaze losing his footing, but quickly back up and looking to power his way through. Looks like Heavy Dolce and Oscar is trying to hold him back, but they don't get it done. Nobody's to Blaze out of the pack, lead jammer for Sweden. Bentos back on track and quickly through, completing that initial pass. So now No Modesty Blaze will have a decision to make, quickly through after a big hit from Mick Yeager onto Heavy Dolce. That was like watching two manatee go at each other.
It was violent, it was vicious, and it certainly gave us action to watch here on the SISU track at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016. You're here with James Brown and myself. Thank you for joining us after the power cut. Argentina on 54, Sweden on 19, with just over 10 minutes left. We're seeing 7 versus 7, James.
Oh, lucky for some.
That's Fritzen for Sweden in the blue, and he is up against Black Shadow for Argentina in the white.
And Black Shadow really exploding into the action, moving those legs left and right, trying to get out of the pack as quickly as possible. Fritzen out for Sweden, but a no pass, no penalty, still picks up lead. So now Black Shadow giving chase to Fritzen. Not very much space in between them. Forces Fritzen to make the call. Jam comes to an end with neither jammer picking up any points. So the scores remain 54 to Argentina, 19 to Sweden, just under 10 minutes of gameplay remaining.
That was beautiful work by Bergalo, who came out from the penalty box, picked up just the right amount of speed and snuck in just to knock off, forcing that call off by Sweden. Our Twitter's gone very quiet, ladies and gentlemen, so if you are still listening and watching, I know it is getting late in some countries, but do send us over some love, hashtag MRDWC.
Hashtag Holly Sheet Shoes. So we have El Pibe flying down the inside line over the apex, lead jammer to Argentina.
And Sjoberg Olsen, he's been recycled back behind Dunne. Oh my word. That is a low block penalty issued to Pibe. So we're going to see another roller derby athletics power jam for Sjoberg Olsen, who has picked up quite a few of these from Argentina. But he also picks up a penalty. He's cut the track himself. So a very short roller derby athletics power jam for Sweden. and we'll have the jammers exchange their seats in the box, and we'll get back underway with LP Bay on the track.
So LP Bay up and at them. And driving against Mick Yeager, a massive mismatch, and P-Bay able to level change.
That was unbelievable. Jumping sideways and then ducking right down low. Beautiful work by LP Bay.
Now again, they do a great job with the Sweden blockers, trying to take away that space from LP Bay.
He's currently up against the three that you see in blue, are probably a good head above LP Bay, but it doesn't phase him at all. In fact, beautiful footwork there, stayed right in on the edge of the track, and again that patented getting low, picking up another 5 points. Olsen sneaking through, however, he's now got 4 points to add on to Sweden's score, which will take them into the 20s, and I'm sure they'll be really happy they're starting to rack up those points.
And LP Bay through again, seemingly unnoticed for another 4 points for Argentina. Olsen taken off track on the outside line and made to recycle, and P-Bay another level change from LP Bay, sees him pick up another 4 points for Argentina.
He was so low, he was almost sat on the floor.
Yeah. And again, slaloming through is LP Bay to pick up 3 more points at the death. 4 points going to Sweden at the end of that jam.
A couple of shout outs. Hello to Jennifer Hammervold, who says, "Go Sweden!" Glad you're still listening in to us. And also a couple of shout outs from the Manchester Roller Derbies, Suicider and Mai, who are both sending their love over here to the announcing team. Thank you guys very much. We have a large announcing team with massive talents.
Use hashtag Holly Sheet Shoes.
That is not a thing.
It is
not
now.
a thing.
Hashtag Holly Sheet Shoes, guys. Get them coming in. Hashtag MRDWC. Hashtag Holly Sheet Shoes.
No,
Let's make it a movement. Let's get it trending.
The official hashtag is MRDWC. Please use that one, ladies and gentlemen.
And hashtag Holly Sheet Shoes.
It is an official timeout for my shoes, as announced by Julius Sleazer, who's our producer here. Again, let's give a shout out to S1. S1 makes high quality, well designed and highly functional helmets and knee pads, trusted by the pros. S1helmets.com. You will see quite a few of those out here on the track today. They do have a booth here, but they are quality materials, and many of the men's teams are endorsed by S1 helmets.
Got a lovely range of adverts as well, haven't they?
They do, yes.
So we're nearly ready to get back into the action. No Modesty Blaze jamming for Sweden up against Castillo for Argentina.
Castillo working his way around the outside line faster enough. Is he caught at the front, but able to work his way around the blocking of Krutzon? Lead jammer going to Argentina. No Modesty Blaze with a lovely little jump. Just held up there slightly by Cruz, but he does break free. There's enough room at the front. Very good work there by Castillo. Just darting his way through. I wasn't sure if he was forwards or sideways. He seemed to be both at the same time.
Did a great job of making himself even smaller to get through that tiny gap. 4 points picked up by Argentina, 0 for Sweden at the end of that jam there. So I just want to give a shout out to Wicco Skates. Greetings from Finland. Your feet cooled. They need a hug. Best regards, Wicco Skates. So Fridson jamming for Sweden. And he's looking for some space, but it looks like a blocking with the head penalty and a roller derby athletics power jam for Fridson.
Dropping back. Argentina still very, very offensive on their defense. Yeah. They're not willing to just sit back and try and hold Fritzen. They are throwing in those shoulders, trying to unnerve the Swedish jammer and potentially get him to switch that roller derby athletics power jam in favour of Argentina by picking up a penalty. Big knock to the inside line, and indeed a good penalty burnout there by Argentina. Sweden now going very defensive, and again they're in that lovely 4-block formation, which has proved solid when they've been able to keep it held here against Argentina.
Yeah, I think Sweden have sort of got a bit hip to the script with these jammers. That being said, Castillo out of the pack, and a quick track penalty for Fridson means that he will have a roller derby athletics power jam. Bentos and Argentina now, the unopposed. Here's Julian left to right, looking to slalom his way through. Mick Yeager trying to hold him at bay.
Oh, lovely little swing around using his own player. It wasn't quite a hip whip, it was more of a shoulder whip there. But it certainly got the job done.
So a 5-point pickup for Argentina and Bentos. He's back on the approach now, hops to the inside line, just gets a shoulder clip from Mick Yeager, but he's a judge to have used his elbows in the contact, so he makes his way to the penalty box.
5 more points up for Bentos. Benefiting from that penalty call meant he could jump straight back on the track. Just not enough time at the end of that jam for Bentos to sneak through and pick up any more. But Argentina already 10 points in that jam, now on 89 points. Sweden on 23 still. We've got just over 2.5 minutes left in this game. Thank you for rejoining us here on the SISU track. We did have a light out earlier. We did have a break, that's why we are running slightly later here on the feed as we normally would have been scheduled.
So we've got Sjöberg Olsen jamming for Sweden, but it is Black Shadow jamming for Argentina, who is lead jammer. Both jammers completing their initial pass. It looks like just one Sweden blocker on track, and Black Shadow makes short work of him. Straight through, 4 points for Argentina, 0 for Sweden.
And a nice easy jam there for Argentina. I've got a few shout outs here on the Twitter. Hello there to Bermuda Roller Derby who are listening in. They say go Argentina. Thank you very much, James Burge, for sending that through. And also to Volts, who says say hello to Roller Derby SP who are watching from Brazil.
Hi, so Roller Derby SP.
We are hitting a lot of areas here. And Dana Hachizita says, and I apologize, ese Sharabon Pibe se agacha demasiado. Jammer goals. Yes, I would like to get as low as that too. Speaking of El Pibe,
he's back.
He's back, and he's certainly giving Sweden something to pick their feet up about. Footwork I've seen probably only on Sully of Team England before. They are very similarly matched with their feet skills. It'd be nice to see these two jammers up against each other
Definitely,
later on.
with both of them, it's like watching an American football running back rushing for 1,000 yards, and as I say that, P-Bay slaloming through, another 5-point pickup for Argentina. Argentina nearing the century mark now as P-Bay with a level change and a pirouette straight through, another 5 points for Argentina.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pirouette, but again with the assistance of his teammates, he's not ashamed to use them to hold on to work his way through. So El Pibe pulling his way through the pack at times, but it's working in his favour. Fritzen also trying that pull through, and again, you can see that works really well for the Swedish jammer.
Again, P-Bay versus Mick Yeager, and it goes P-Bay's way. Mick Yeager just can't get low enough. Just center of gravity for P-Bay. 4 points picked up at the death there. 112 now the score for Argentina, 23 for Sweden. Just over 7 seconds in this period.
Quick shout out to Rocket and Roll, who says, El Pibe was yay, yo.
And that looks like the game has come to an end. The unofficial score of 112 to Argentina, 23 to Sweden. And do you think Team Argentina are happy with that?
I think Team Argentina are a little bit overjoyed with this one. They certainly pulled it out the bag. They were brilliant in the 2014 Men's Roller Derby World Cup with just the 8 skaters they brought over. You can see now, we thought as a full team they would be a force to be reckoned with. They are proving that in these first 2 days in the half-hour games. Let's see how they cope with the full hours, though.
Well, exactly. It's going to be interesting to see how all of these teams perform when we play for a full hour. Obviously, the 30 minutes completely changes the dynamic of the game. You have to approach it slightly differently. So tomorrow will be very interesting indeed.
It will be, and those games actually start later on this afternoon if you're still staying tuned in. We do have games that will be announced with the lineups, the teams working from the different groups and playing off against each other. So we are going to be seeing a couple of games come up later on.
There's also a junior roller derby showcase as well today.
That's taking place on track number 1.
If you want to see some kids that are able to skate better than you at 33 when they're 11, stick around.
It's certainly, if you've never seen a juniors game before, please do turn over to track number 1 to watch that juniors game. They are a level 2 juniors game, so there is contact allowed to a certain degree. A big thank you again to everybody who has been tweeting in. Captain Malice has asked about the archive. We will keep you updated as soon as we know when the archive comes through. And I would like to say a big no thank you, James Brown, for getting hashtag Holly Sheets shoes.
Keep it coming, guys. Hashtag Holly Sheets shoes. Hashtag MRDWC. We want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you're doing out there. We want to see pictures of your living rooms with the lights on, showing off, because we've had a power cut. So get in touch with us.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up. There is a break now here on the SISU track. Head over to track number 1, and we'll catch you guys in a couple of hours back here on track 2.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
We really miss the feeling of spontaneously visiting a store and trying out the newest gear. A hangout for all roller skaters. Everyone has their own unique style. Because of our large assortment, we can now personalise roller skates while you wait, so you can try them out right away. Our mission is to fit you with the right gear, and don't forget to turn left.
A lot of very impressive people in roller derby.
This was definitely a proud moment for me, wearing the black, white, and red.
I care about this thing more than I care about any other article of clothing in my wardrobe.
This represents to me like 7 years of blood, sweat, and tears.
Glitter is fun and hardcore. I've learned that it's hardcore. My uniform is always in pristine condition.
My truck is purple, my shoes are purple, my underwear are purple.
It takes a lot of drive and a lot of passion to keep going in roller derby.
Sometimes when you play roller derby, you're just kind of like, why am I doing this? This is so weird. I just can't imagine that I'd get more kicks like playing golf than I do hitting a Feels good.
My name is Rachel Rotten.
My name is Midge Wilhelm.
I'm Fifi Nomenon.
I'm Jackie Daniels.
My name's Steph Maney.
Hi, I'm Scald Eagle.
And S1.
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 And S1 is part of my uniform.
don't grip, slap the pack. If you block the flock, then I can jam the track. Quads on the floor, stars on the head. Roller to be locked, what the zebra said. Yeah, we rollin', yeah, we rapping for real. Can't feel the back wheels underneath my heels. Up through my spine, penetrating the heart. Calling off the jam till the next jam starts.
MyBoatBrook.com.